Hi everyone, in today's lesson we'll be taking a look at Unit 4.2, Notes number 3, which is all about arc length and areas of sectors. A sector of a circle is a region bounded by two radii and an arc of a circle. So if we take a look at our sector, which is the shaded region, notice that it's bounded on one side by radius AP, the other side by radius BP, and then this arc. It's a minor arc going from A to B. Now, in order to find the length of arc AB, we have to first think about the circumference of the circle. So circumference of a circle, we know, is written as C for circumference equals 2 pi times the radius. Now, if you take a look at that highlighted arc, notice that it's just a piece out of the whole circumference. So it's a fraction of the circumference of a circle. The area of a circle, if you recall, the formula for area is pi times the radius squared. And if we look at our shaded region, think of it as a piece of pizza or a piece of pie. It's a fraction of the whole circle. So in order to find arc length, since it's a part of the circumference of the circle, we're going to take the measure of the arc, which will be x, which is the same as the central angle. We're going to divide it by 360, and then we're going to multiply by the circumference, 2 pi r. And this is equal to the length of the arc, or arc length. Now there are two different ways to write your answer. If you leave it in terms of pi, that's the exact form. If you multiply by pi on the calculator, then it's an approximation. Now to find an area of a sector, remember a sector has a central angle still, and usually it's a shaded region. To find out the area of that sector, we would take that central angle, divide it by 360, and multiply by the area of the circle this time, pi r squared. Because a sector is a fraction of the whole circle. Okay, so let's do some practice. Okay, in these first two examples, it says find the length of arc AB. So here's the arc. Notice that we have a central angle that's a right angle, so the measure of the arc is in degrees, it's 90 degrees. So to find the length of the arc in inches, we're going to take our angle, 90, divide it by 360, and multiply by circumference, 2 pi r. Again, remember that arc length is angle measure divided by 360 times 2 pi r. Okay, we know that 90 over 360 reduces to 1/4, and our circumference is 2 times pi times 10. Simplify that circumference, leave that 1/4 for now, but 2 times pi times 10 gives us 20 pi. 1/4 times 20 pi, well 4 goes into 20 5 times, so final answer would be 5 pi inches. But that's not really practical. Like 5 pi inches, you might say, well, I don't really know how many inches that is. If you multiply 5 by pi on your calculator, you'll find that it's approximately 15.7 inches. So this was exact. The first one in terms of pi is exact. The second one is an approximation. Okay, let's try another one. In part B, the measure of the arc is 60 degrees because it's the same as the central angle. So we do 60 divided by 360. That tells us what fraction of the circumference we're working with. And then multiply it by circumference. 2 times pi times the radius. And this radius is 12. So 60 over 360 reduces to 1/6. 2 times pi times 12 is 24 pi. And then finally multiply 1/6 times 24. 6 goes into 24 4 times. So we're left with 4 pi centimeters, or approximately 12.6 centimeters if you multiply it out on your calculator. So remember, in terms of pi is an exact answer, and when we get that decimal, that's an approximation. Okay, finally for today, we're going to find the area of a sector. So recall that a sector is like a slice of pie, a piece of pizza, part of the whole area of a circle. So similar to arc length, we have to take the measure of the angle, the central angle, divide it by 360, because that tells us what fraction of the circle we're looking at. But this time we're looking for area, so we're going to multiply by pi r squared. So our angle in this case is 90 degrees. That central angle is 90, so take 90 divided by 360 times pi times the radius of 10 squared. Okay, 90 over 360 reduces to 1/4. 10 squared is 100 pi. And check it out, 1/4 times 100 pi. 4 goes in 125 times. The exact answer, 25 pi inches squared. Okay, for a decimal approximation, you would multiply that out in your calculator, and you'd end up with around 78.5 square inches. So remember, it's exact if it's left in terms of pi. Okay, one last one. I'm going to find the area of this sector right here. Okay, the central angle is 60 degrees, so you're going to take 60 divided by 360 times pi times our radius of 12 this time squared. So 60 over 360 reduces to 1/6, and then multiply it by 144 pi. 6 goes into 144 24 times, so final answer will just be 24 pi. I almost wrote inches squared, but it's actually in centimeters squared because our radius was in centimeters. Okay, if you multiply it out, you get approximately 75.4 square centimeters. Final answer. Okay, that's it. Good luck on the homework.